Hello everyone, my name is Bethany and this is my channel Theni's Thoughts. So today I'm doing a little bit of an update for my September reads because as per usual I have stuck to practically nothing in my TBR because the first 2 weeks was definitely just a mood time. I just kind of went through a little bit of a just like mood slump. I don't know, is that a thing? We're just gonna make it a thing. Mood reading phase and just read things that just sounded good to me at the time, so that's what I did. And didn't stick to my TBR and didn't really start my TBR until really last week. So I'll just kind of update what I've read so far, but then I also have planned to talk about what I'm doing for the pop culture Readathon mini-a-thon coming up next week. So that's hosted by Lauren and Whitney, and that I'll link all that information below. So I did the 90s pop culture readathon for the month of, I believe it was July. I had a great time. So their mini readathon is going from September 20th to the 26th, and it's prompts from that were inspired by the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which fits perfectly because they're celebrating their 30th anniversary coming up soon. So it just seemed that seemed like a really fun idea, and I'll go over the prompts and what I plan to read. I'm just going to quickly go over what I've read so far in September. I'm just going to go over them. I'm not going to review them. I'll save that for my wrap up. But so far I have read A Sweet Mess by J.C. Lee, P.S. I Like You by Casey West, The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary. I listened to an audiobook. I strongly recommend an audiobook. Gigarella by Ashley Poston, The Midnight Circus by Jane Yolen. That was an arc that I had that I read that is coming out, I believe, the end of this month. And Stocking Stuffers by Erin McClellan. And right now I'm currently still in the middle of reading Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer, which is the Twilight book from Edward's perspective. And Sea Witch by Katie Robert. I started that the day before. It is super steamy and great so far. And The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm listening to that in audiobook right now. So yeah, those are the things I'm in the middle of, which hopefully I think I'll be able to finish Sea Witch and Seven Husbands definitely before next week. Midnight Sun, I'm not quite sure. I'm trying to read as much as I can before the readathon starts, but we'll see. So the prompts for the pop culture readathon for the week-long readathon, there's only 4 prompts, which is kind of nice because you can read as many books from the prompts as you want, but also you can only have to read like 2 books if you find stuff for multiple prompts. The first prompt is the original Aunt Viv, which is HBIC. I didn't know what this meant, but it means head bitch in charge. And so it's finding books that have a woman lead character who is a head bitch in charge. I love the idea of the prompt. The problem is that it's hard to find which books have a head bitch in charge. Like, I don't know if some of these do or not. The next one is Carlton. That prompt is read a book set in a prep school or a boarding school, anything that's set predominantly in a boarding school. And it can be like a dark, like secret society type of school thing too. I'm having a hard time with that prompt, but I think might have an idea for it, so we'll see. The next prompt is, I believe, Will's, and that one is read a book in 2020. And then the next one is for Ashley, I believe, and that one is read a book with a Black lead female character that's not based on trauma. That's just like a joyful story. So I have some ideas for these, but I'm having a hard time figuring out which ones I'm doing. A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown. Look at how gorgeous this cover is, guys. This is pretty much why I bought the book, because the cover is absolutely stunning. All I know about it is it's like a fantasy. There's like assassination attempts, I believe. And I've heard that she's definitely a head bitch in charge. So I kind of like this for that prompt. It's also a 2020 release. The problem is that for these readathons, I usually like to have multiple formats. So I usually have a couple ebooks, a couple physical, and a couple like audio. Right now, most of the prompts that I have, or most of the books that I have for the prompts, are mostly physical. And I've noticed that my physical books, I tend to read a little bit slower. So just for whatever reason, I feel like I read ebooks faster, and obviously, audiobooks can be listened to faster as well. So yeah, so I'm not sure so a lot of them are physical. I'm not sure if I'm gonna read all these physical books, but I don't know. Well, I'm just gonna see where it goes. These are my options, and I'm just trying to let the mood reading continue and see what happens. So yeah, so this is definitely one of the options that I'm hoping to read, or at least start maybe. The next one is You Should See Me in a Crown. This is by Leah Johnson. I've heard so many good things about this book. Definitely feel like this fits the Ashley prompt. It also is a 2020 release because it is about a lead Black girl who is in high school, and I believe it's a sapphic romance as well. There's a cute little sapphic romance in this as well. So yeah, I'm really excited about that, and I've heard really good things about it. And just look at the cover itself just looks really joyful. So it just looks really fun, and I'm hoping that I definitely think this is a shorter one, so I definitely think I will be able to read this. And the next one I'm considering is Slay by Brittany Morris. So she actually goes to prep school, is involved in a role-playing card game called Slay, and she's actually a game developer of the game. And then someone is murdered because of the game, and things ensue from there. Also kind of a shorter book, but I've heard really good things about this one as well. So this was, I'm thinking, for the prep school prompt. And also the cover is just like also super gorgeous. Look, you can see just the shine, the glint on that from the like gold accents. So gorgeous cover. The next one that I already had planned on my September TBR that I think hoping might be a head bitch in charge is going to be Intercepted by Alexa Martin. This is about a woman who was married to or dating a football player. He ended up being a cheater. She ends up like forced out, like saying no to any football players from then on out, and then a past love starts pursuing her. I don't know, head bitch in charge vibes. I don't know if she is or not, but it's something that's already on my September TBR, so I thought maybe I'd give it a try and see if it is, and then just go from there. I'm also considering a couple others. So I also have on my audio queue that came in faster than I anticipated. I thought it was going to come in next month as One to Watch. Can't remember her last name. I'll put the cover here. It is a bachelorette plus size romance, or bachelorette inspired, I should say, romance. So I've heard kind of mixed reviews ish, but I'm interested to try it out and see for myself. I just, like I said, it came on an audiobook just yesterday, so I figured I might do that one. It is a 2020 release, so I thought maybe I could use it for that prompt. I also was thinking of listening to the audiobook of Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. That is the first book in the Grishaverse series. It's the first book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I've heard that this trilogy isn't as good as the Six of Crows duology, but a lot of people recommend reading the first three books before getting into the duology, because you get introduced to the world and everything that's built up in the first three books. So I want to try to read them. I bought the second and the third, but the first I have yet to find, and so I decided maybe I'd listen to it instead, and then maybe that would get me into reading the two that I recently bought. And the prompt that I was going to use for that one was she goes into like elite like spy assassin school. So I thought that would fit the like prep school, boarding school prompt. Those are the ideas that I have for the books that I'm going to read. I'm keeping more of a light TBR and not doing a set one, and just kind of letting my mood pick what I want to read next week and starting with that. And we'll see how it goes. I'm really excited about this readathon. I'm really excited to join the pop culture readathon again because I had so much fun last time. So I'm hoping that this week is just going to be a lot of fun. If you like what you saw and want to see more from me, especially my wrap up coming up for the books that I mentioned that I've already read so far, you can subscribe to me and hit likes and hit bells. And I love to hear from you and really appreciate it. My social medias are all down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.